Hola chicos, bienvenidos a la primera lección de esta semana. Welcome to the first lecture of this week. Esta es solamente es la introducción. This is just the introductory lesson for this week. Así que lo primero que quiero que hagan, the first thing that I want you to do, es que piensen, ¿sí? Piensa, think, y escribe en tu cuaderno, in your notebook, en tu papel, lo que sea, but write it. Think and write it, ¿sí? Piensa y escribe. ¿Cómo es tu rutina? Right? What does your daily routine look like? ¿Cómo es? Piensa y escribe en tu cuaderno o en tu papel. Tomen aproximadamente unos segundos para escribir y pensar. ¿Sí? Think about what your daily routine looks like. Right? This can be in English. Right? Lo pueden hacer en inglés. Vamos a pensar. Piensa y escribe. Right? Vamos a hacer un brainstorm. Let's brainstorm. So maybe you have written down that you shower. See, I wake up. I wash my face, I brush my hair, I get dressed, I brush my teeth, I get up, I shave, right? It might look different than this, but you get the idea, right? Of your daily routine. What is it that you do when you wake up, right? From morning until you leave the house. ¿Sí? ¿Cómo se ve esa rutina? ¿Cómo es? What does that routine look like? Okay, so maybe you have some different phrases than the ones that I have here. Maybe you have some similar ones. Okay, así que sí, tenemos este tipo de actividades. We have these types of activities that we do in the mornings, right? Shower, I shave, I get up, I brush my teeth, I get dressed, I brush my hair, I wash my face, I wake up, right? If you haven't noticed, all these activities are things that you do to yourselves, right? Or things that we do to ourselves. See, yo me ducho, right? I shower, I wake up, I wash my face, I brush my hair, right? And that is what we're going to focus on in this lesson. Things that you do to yourselves, right? Just that, just you. You're just going to focus on what is it that I do to myself, right? When I wake up, I get up, right? I go to the bathroom, I shower, I do all these things, right? We're going to focus on that. Just you. Focus on you. ¿Sí? Así que let's write these types of activities in order, right? Entonces, tenemos aquí, now I added some images. Les incluí unas imágenes, ¿no? I shower, I wake up, I wash my face, I brush my hair, I get dressed, I brush my teeth, I get up, and I shave, right? So the brainstorming, they're not in order. So we're going to write them in order. And you have here, and you see that I have done that for you already, right? And we have phrases like first. First, I wake up, right? It tells us that that's the first thing that you do, right? First, I wake up. Oh, yes, we wake up, right? That's the first thing we do. We wake up. Second, I get up, right? There's a difference. I wake up. You wake up from your dreams, ¿sí? De tus sueños, you wake up. And then you get up. That's the physical motion of getting up from your bed. I get up. Third, I go to the bathroom, right? Now, this activity, you don't do it to yourself, but you do the action of going to the bathroom, okay? Fourth, I wash my face. Do you do this activity to yourself? Yes, right? Because no one else is washing my face for me. I'm washing my face. Yeah, we wash our own faces, right? After that, I shave. So maybe if you shave, right, you get your razor and you shave. Then I shower. After that, or after, I brush my teeth. Then I brush my hair. Then I get dressed. I put on my shoes. I have breakfast, right? I leave to school or to work. Now, this order might look different to you, okay? And that's just kind of what I came up with. But your routine is your own routine. might look different than the one I have here, okay? And that's totally fine. You can write it in the order that you want, okay? So this is in English. Now, en español, oops, en español, right? We have these activities as well, things that we do to ourselves. Tenemos me ducho, right? Some of you use me baño, and that's totally fine, okay? But the main difference between me ducho and me ducho is I actually take a shower, me baño is to bathe. But in Spanish-speaking countries, again, the Spanish varies. It's not like this is right and that is wrong. No, different dialects, different variations of the Spanish language. And so me baño, right, versus me ducho, for some people is the same thing, okay? Entonces, but for the sake of the activities that you're going to see in Connect, this is what we're going to be using me ducho to take a shower. In activities that we do on Canvas and quizzes that I make, if you use me baño, that's totally fine, okay? Just make sure that in Connect you are using me ducho. Okay, entonces tenemos me ducho, yeah? And now you can act it out with me. Me ducho. Me despierto. Oh, I wake up, ¿sí? Me despierto. Tenemos, me lavo la cara, right? You can repeat after me. Me lavo la cara. Me cepillo el pelo, right? Or you can also use me peino, right? Me visto. Me pongo mi camisa, me pongo mis pantalones, right? Me visto. Me cepillo los dientes. ¿Sí? Me levanto. Again, me despierto. Wake up. Me levanto. I physically get up. Sí, me levanto. Me afeito. La barba. ¿Sí? La barba. Me afeito. Right? Entonces, esta es la rutina o mi rutina, right? Someone's routine might look like this. Someone else's routine might look different. Tu rutina, your routine might look different as well. Okay? Vamos a poner esta en orden. Now we're going to put this in order. Okay? Y para expresar orden, right? To express order en español, right? When you want to express your routine, you can use these phrases. Primero, luego, después y por último. ¿Sí? Primero, luego, después, por último. So you can use these phrases, but you can also use the ordinal numbers. Now, the ordinal numbers, as you know, like in English, right? You say first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, right, whatever, and so on. En español tenemos lo mismo. Primero, segundo, right? Tercero, cuarto, quinto, sexto, séptimo, octavo, noveno, y décimo. Okay. Now, the format that you see here is to list, right? To express order or a list. First, you do this. Primero, esto. Segundo, el otro. Tercero, blah, blah, blah. Of course, there are different variations of the ordinal numbers that we're going to look at later on in the chapter. But when you are putting your routine in order, you don't have to use primero to décimo, right? You don't have to use all of them. You can mix it up. You can use primero, blah, 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 right? Because you have that here too. Primero, blah, blah, blah. Luego, all right? Or you can use segundo, me baño. Tercero, me cepillo los dientes, right? So you can use like primero, segundo, tercero, maybe cuarto, right? If your routine is kind of long, but most of our routines are long. And so you can use primero, segundo, tercero, cuarto, and then you can use these type of phrases, right? Luego, después, and then por último, that's the last step. Lastly or finally, I do this, okay? But when you are expressing the order of your routine, don't use all of these ordinal numbers, okay? You can use 1 through 4th. Because then it goes primero, segundo, tercero, then it gets too long. So you want to mix it up. Así que tenemos el orden, ¿no? So we have some phrases that we can write. So what's the first phrase you think we're going to be using when we list this routine in order? Which one do you think we're going to use? If you said primero, estás correcto. Sí, muy bien, correcto. Primero. So we have them here. Primero me despierto. Primero me despierto. Segundo, me levanto. Después voy al baño. I go to the bathroom. Okay, again, this is not an activity that I do, an action that I do to myself. It's just I go to the bathroom. ¿Sí? Después voy al baño. Luego me lavo la cara. Después me afeito. Luego me ducho. Luego me cepillo los dientes. Después me cepillo el pelo. Luego me visto. ¿Sí? Me pongo los zapatos. Now, this is a new one. Me pongo los zapatos. What do you think that one means? Me pongo los zapatos. Me pongo. I put on what? Zapatos. Los zapatos. Shoes. I put on my shoes. Después, desayuno. Later or after, I have breakfast. Now, this is not an action. Again, this is not an action that we perform to ourselves, right? So, right? So if you notice to those activities that are not an action that you do to yourself, we don't have that me, right? So most of these phrases, me despierto, me levanto, me lavo la cara. So that means, right? We have the verb here, lavo, lavar, right? Me lavo la cara. I wash my face, right? An action that I'm doing to myself. Me lavo la cara, right? Voy al baño, desayuno. They don't have that me in front, right? You don't say después me desayuno, because then that would mean first I have myself for breakfast. That doesn't make any sense, right? You can use it in me voy al baño to say that I take myself to the bathroom, right? But let's just keep it simple and say después voy al baño. I go to the bathroom, okay? Después desayuno. After I have breakfast, ¿sí? Por último, me voy a la escuela o me voy al trabajo. Now, this one works with me, even though we have the same verb voy as voy al baño, right? Me voy means that I take myself to school or I take myself to work, okay? So that one can work. Me voy a la escuela o me voy al trabajo, right? Lastly, that's the last step. Finally, me voy a la escuela. O finally, por último, me voy al trabajo. I go to work. Like I take myself to work, right? And so we have the order expressions, right? You see that I'm not using primero, segundo, tercero, cuarto, quinto, sexto, séptimo, octavo, noveno, right? I'm not using all of these ordinal numbers. I'm mixing it up. Primero, segundo, you can go tercero, cuarto, and then start mixing these, right? But I opted with primero, segundo, después, luego, después. And don't be afraid to repeat some of these phrases. You can do whatever you want, okay? Entonces, here, the key thing here is that because you are expressing your routine, ¿sí? Están expresando su rutina and things that you do to yourselves, we are using me, right? Like if I say me despierto, I'm talking about my routine, things that I do to myself, things that I do. Me despierto. Oh, me despierto, right? Me levanto. I get up. Voy al baño. I go to the bathroom. Me lavo la cara, right? Me lavo la cara. Me afeito. Things that I'm doing to myself. Now, you've seen it, right? Me gusta, right? Me gusta bailar. Me gusta comer, right? I like, things that you like, right? And so we have that me again. Me despierto, me levanto. So who are we talking about here? Talking about ourselves, right? Things that we do to ourselves. So key thing here, me despierto, me levanto, okay? Ahora aquí lo vamos a repetir. So you can repeat it after me and act it out, okay? Primero, me despierto. Me despierto. Muy bien. Segundo, me levanto. Me levanto. The act of getting up. Me levanto. Me levanto. Muy bien. Después. Voy al baño. Voy al baño. Luego, me lavo la cara. Me lavo la cara. Excelente. Después, me afeito. ¿Sí? Me afeito. Luego, me ducho. Me ducho. ¿Sí? Again. Me despierto. Me levanto. Voy al baño. Me lavo la cara. Me afeito. Me ducho. ¿Sí? Luego, me cepillo los dientes. Después, me cepillo el pelo. Me cepillo el pelo. Muy bien. Luego, me visto, ¿sí? Me visto. Me pongo los zapatos. Me pongo los zapatos. Me pongo los zapatos. Muy bien. I put on my shoes. Now notice here, I didn't write a phrase here. Again, you can mix it. Me pongo los zapatos. I put on my shoes. Después. Desayuno. I have breakfast, right? We don't write me desayuno because we're not eating ourselves, right? So we just use the verb desayunar, right? To have breakfast, but because you're doing it, right? Or we're doing it in the first person, AR verbs end in O. Después, desayuno, right? I have breakfast. Por último, me voy a la escuela. Me voy a la escuela. O me voy al trabajo. Me voy al trabajo. Ok, chicos, excelente. Hopefully you were able to repeat it and act it out. Así que, ¿qué haces? Hopefully you took notes. If you didn't take notes on these, make sure you're writing them now, right? Primero me despierto, and while I'm going over it, you can write it, right? Or you can take a picture because we're going to do an activity. See? Now you need to know what these activities are. Primero, me despierto. ¿Qué es me despierto? What is it? Me despierto. That is to wake up. See? You can write it. Oop. Oh, I can't say the story. Me despierto, right? You can write it to wake up. Segundo, me levanto. ¿Qué es me levanto? What is it? To get up. Después, voy al baño. Now this one, does it have a me in front of that phrase? Does it say me voy al baño? No, it can, right? But we'll keep it simple. Voy al baño, right? So because that one doesn't have that me in front, this is not going to be on the phrases that you need to know, okay? Well, you do need to know it, but not for this activity. Luego, me lavo la cara. Hmm. Me lavo la cara. This is I wash my face. What else do you wash? Like on yourself. I wash my face. We also wash our hands, right? Me lavo las manos. So, si te lavas la mano frecuentemente, if you wash your hands frequently, you can say me lavo las manos. So now we're using me lavo, but now we're not saying la cara, we're saying las manos. So it depends on what you're washing. Are you washing to yourself, right? We wash our face, we wash our hands, we wash our hair, right? So you can use the phrase me lavo, and then what is it that you're washing? Your cara, tus manos, el cabello, maybe your feet, because your feet are dirty sometimes, right? Me lavo los pies. You can also say that, okay? Me afeito. Afeito, right? For some of you guys, me afeito. Me ducho, right? Me ducho. ¿Qué es me ducho? Right? I shower, right? And hopefully you do shower. Esperemos que sí. Luego, me cepillo los dientes. Me cepillo los dientes. Después, me cepillo el pelo. Me cepillo los dientes y me cepillo el pelo. Me cepillo. So I brush my teeth. And we also brush our hair, right? Me cepillo el pelo. Same verb. Me cepillo. Luego, me visto. I dress myself. ¿Sí? Me visto. Me pongo los zapatos. Me pongo los zapatos. I put on my shoes. So every when you see me do, right? That's something that you do to yourself. Después, desayuno. Does that one have me? Desayuno? No, chicos, no. We don't eat ourselves, remember? No, 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 no. Desayuno. So that one, you know it. You know it. But for this activity, no. Y por último, me voy a la escuela o me voy al trabajo, right? I go to work. Okay, so hopefully that give you time to write them out. Y vamos a ver, van a pretender que ustedes son los que están haciendo esta actividad, esta acción, right? You're going to pretend it's you who's doing this action. ¿Qué haces? Okay. Por favor, tienen que responder en me ducho, me lavo la cara, me cepillo los dientes. Use your notes, right? The ones you wrote down. Entonces, for this one, this image, right? What is he doing? ¿Qué haces? Right? What are you doing? ¿Qué haces? Again, we're pretending this is you, okay? For all of them. ¿Qué haces? Your answer should be, me pongo los zapatos, right? Me pongo los zapatos. Excelente, if you got it right. Next one. Again, this is you. Este eres tú. ¿Qué haces? ¿Sí? ¿Qué haces? Me voy a la escuela o me voy al trabajo. We got that one? Thumbs up. ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces? Hmm. Uh, Me cepillo los dientes. Muy bien. Me cepillo los dientes. ¿Qué haces? You said, me cepillo el pelo. Excelente, chicos, excelente. ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces aquí? What is it that you're doing? Again, we're pretending this is you. ¿Qué haces? Si respondiste, me he visto, muy bien, me he visto. ¿Qué haces? Dos posibilidades, two possibilities here. Right? Me ducho o me baño. Right? If you're familiar with that phrase. If you're not, just use me ducho. ¿Qué haces? Now, this is the physical one. Okay. ¿Qué haces? If you said, me levanto, muy bien. Me levanto. Again, this is to get up. Okay. Diferente than the other one. Okay. ¿Qué haces? In this picture, ¿qué haces? Si respondiste, me afeito, muy bien. Perfecto. Me afeito. I shave myself. Now this one. So, este es diferente a esta. So this is the physical of getting up. ¿Sí? Me levanto. ¿Cuál es esta? ¿Qué haces? What are you doing here? ¿Qué haces? Ah, ¿qué haces? Si dijiste, if you said, me despierto, you're killing it. Muy bien. Por último, this is the last one. ¿Qué haces aquí? ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces? Si dijiste, me lavo la cara, muy bien. Ok, esto fue la introducción. This was just the introductory video for our reflexive verbs. Okay, in the other lecture, I go in depth, in detail of what are reflexive verbs and how is it that we use it. And you'll see that me as a reflexive pronoun. So go ahead and jump over to the next lesson for this topic. And I hope that makes things a lot more clear. This was just the introduction, again, introduction to what we're going to be focusing on this week. And you have a couple of assignments as well. Ok, chicos, que tengan un buen día. Hope you have a great day. Nos vemos en la siguiente lección. See you in the next lesson. Hasta luego. Chao.